Just ahead on CTV News, former President Joe Biden is diagnosed with cancer, and a verdict is reached in the Langley Park toddler murder case. Plus,
another set of county high school seniors walks across the stage today. I'm Katara Jones. I'll tell you all about their graduation coming up on CTV News.
Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for May 19th. I'm Marquette Shepard.
And I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. Former President Joe Biden's office announced on Sunday that he has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Last week, doctors found a nodule on 82-year-old Biden's prostate before being diagnosed with the cancer on Friday, which the office says has spread to the bone. According to the statement, Biden and his family are reviewing treatment options with his physicians. And while it is an aggressive form of the disease, they say it appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for more effective management. There has been an outpouring of well wishes for Biden from political leaders around the country.
Today, a jury handed down a verdict for Johnny Tercios in connection to the shooting that led to the death of 2-year-old Jeremy Pou Caceres. The jury found Tercios not guilty of Jeremy's murder and the attempted murder of his mother, Rosa. However, the jury did find Tercios guilty of attempted second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder on his intended target, as well as possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. Asa Dan Kim, who prosecuted the case, spoke about the verdict.
I don't think any amount of explanation will really fully satisfy them. I hope that though they will take at least some solace in the fact that Johnny Tercios is now being held responsible generally for his actions that day, and that we still have a trial for the other person still pending, and we will fight as equally as hard to have that person found guilty as to the murder of her son.
Tercios is facing a maximum sentence of life plus 45 years. The sentencing is scheduled for September 12th. Well, he'll never walk free in the U.S. That's the stunning claim from the Justice Department about a Maryland father wrongfully deported. Federal officials told a judge Friday that Kilmar Abrego Garcia won't be allowed back into the country, despite a court order that once protected him from deportation. His attorney says they've only received 164 pages out of thousands of case documents, as Trump administration now hides behind state secrets to block his return.
On the state secrets issue, the judge made very clear that she's not going to accept a just trust us from any of the 3 cabinet departments. So far, the government has relied on a number of sort of reasons to not turn over information, but the main one is what's called the state secrets privilege. The state secrets privilege requires that the head of the cabinet agency explain why something is a state secret. In the case of the Department of State, Secretary Marco Rubio did put in a declaration, but the judge found that it was at a very high level of generality and didn't actually explain anything. It just sort of said, these are all secrets that we can't possibly tell you.
Judge Paula Zinnes gave Secretary of State Marco Rubio until Friday to justify why key details are being shielded under the state secrets privilege. She warned that if government doesn't comply, contempt charges could follow.
And another verdict has been handed down today in the 2023 double murder that claimed the life of then 23-year-old Xavier Matthews. The jury found Christopher Jenkins guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, and his co-conspirator, Kimonte Day, confessed shortly after to coordinating the attack, which also took the life of one of the attackers, her boyfriend, Karan Moore. Deputy State's Attorney Perry Paler spoke about the evidence used to secure the conviction.
What's so unique about this case as well is that it's the combination of not only great detective work, but also we had cell phone evidence, we had DNA, we also had video that was retrieved, and we also had firearms examination evidence. So based on that, we were able to introduce over 336 exhibits with 24 witnesses, and we were able to secure convictions for 2 counts of first-degree felony murder, conspiracy to commit armed robbery, use of a firearm in the commission of a crime of violence, and also Mr. Jenkins was convicted of possessing a firearm, being a disqualified person.
And police investigation uncovered that Day and Matthews were cousins, and that Day used their relationship to orchestrate the attack.
Governor Westmore has slammed the brakes on dozens of bills, including some with broad bipartisan support. Moore vetoed 23 pieces of legislation late Friday. That's more than in the past 2 years combined. Many of the bills would have created study commissions on issues like climate change, energy planning, and data center impacts. Moore says the studies would place too much strain on staff and resources, calling them costly and overused. But lawmakers say some of the measures were fully funded and aimed at long-term savings, and some are talking overriding his vetoes when they return to Annapolis in January.
And one of those vetoes drawing outrage from lawmakers is a bill aimed at addressing racial inequality. And critics say the move undermines the very values Governor Westmore campaigned on. The legislation would have created a commission to study the economic harms of slavery. Moore says he's focused on action, not studies, and cited budget concerns. But members of the state's Black Legislative Caucus say the decision is a setback for justice, and they're especially disappointed as Moore is the only Black governor in the country and the first of the state. Supporters say they do have the votes to override the veto when lawmakers return to Annapolis.
FBI Director Kash Patel announced that 1,500 employees will relocate from their D.C. headquarters due to building safety. Deputy Chief Administrative Officer Angie Rogers agreed with Patel that the building was not suitable for work, and further stated that, for that reason, the decision to construct a new headquarters in Greenbelt was the right decision. Patel has previously teased Huntsville, Alabama, as a potential location for the new FBI headquarters. And seaports around the nation brace for the impact of President Trump's tariffs, while experts say the Port of Baltimore won't see the impact until next month. Baltimore's geographic location could be a factor, as West Coast ports like Los Angeles are already seeing impacts as they are much closer to China. Last year, the Port of Baltimore was the second largest importer of automobiles for the United States.
And a new study shows that the state's economic development investments have seen a slight decrease. Maryland's investments over the previous 3 fiscal years generated on average $8.81 in state and local tax revenue. However, this is a dip from its $9.17 return on investments. The data collected comes from the Maryland Economic Development Association. The organization says 75% of county economic development offices responded to the study. And just days after downgrading Maryland's credit rating, Moody's downgrades the credit rating of the United States. While Maryland kept its AAA rating with the 2 other major agencies, this is the third to downgrade the U.S. to AA1. Moody's explained its decision to change the U.S. rating, saying it expected the budget deficit to keep rising, and criticized U.S. politicians for not taking action to improve the country's fiscal position. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent brushed off the downgrade, calling Moody's a, quote, lagging indicator. Maryland Governor Westmore also put the blame on Washington for Maryland's credit demotion.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says there's still work to do on President Trump's sweeping tax cut package as conservatives push for faster cuts to Medicaid and green energy programs. Republicans narrowly advanced the 1,100-page bill in a late-night Sunday vote. Now GOP lawmakers are scrambling to lock in support before the Memorial Day deadline. The bill extends Trump-era tax cuts and adds new brakes on things like tips and overtime pay, while also calling for $1.5 trillion in spending cuts and big boosts to border security. Negotiations are still underway, with Johnson promising more changes before a final House vote. You're watching CTV News. I'm Marquette Shepard.
And I'm Mariah Gillette. Still to come, a new program in a neighboring county is making waves.
14-week program is looking to bridge the gap between the Spanish-speaking community and the police. We'll tell you more details in just a few minutes.
Well, I'm looking good. Thank you. Just became a real ID. What's the plan? Impromptu road trip? Actually, the plan is to fly to New York for today's product launch, and then visit the family in California and cap it off with a girls' weekend in New Orleans. You really can just do all that. Sure, I'm a real ID, so I'm good to board any domestic flight. Speaking of which, gotta fly. Nice. Enjoy. I'll be here.
Be your real ID self by May 7th, 2025. Find out how at tsa.gov/realid.
After years of studying, test-taking, and classroom lectures, the time has finally arrived for a new set of high school seniors to receive their diplomas.
Today, the Prince George's County School System hosted the graduation ceremony for Friendly High School at Showplace Arena in Upper Marlboro. CTV's Katara Jones is at the ceremony where students got very emotional.
That's right. Well, this graduation for the seniors of Friendly High School was probably one of the most emotional graduations I've covered. CTV News cameras captured a lot of the graduates crying and hugging their peers just moments after the ceremony ended. We graduated! 4 long years of high school is now complete for the seniors of Friendly High School. The graduation for the class of 2025 brought out a lot of emotions for not only the students, but their loved ones and the teachers and staff that supported them.
It was a lot of hard work to get here. A lot.
A bittersweet moment, yeah. How are you feeling?
I'm ready to go. I ain't got no tears. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed that my friends, my family, everybody who I knew here, I'm ready to go.
We did it. I'm feeling ecstatic because I just finished a whole lifetime of school already done and stuff. So it's just like a lot of emotions, feeling bottling up.
As these graduates begin to mark their own path, they still have their own piece of advice to the students coming behind them.
You'll come out of the shadows one day. You'll come and you'll see your life, and that will you'll succeed through that.
To never give up on yourself. Keep going. The process is definitely worth it. It's going to be hard. The challenge is going to be hard. It's going to get cold. You're going to have to stay in the cold. It's going to get warm soon.
All I got to say is procrastination will kill you.
Fairmont Heights High School also held their graduation ceremony this afternoon. Reporting in Upper Marlboro, Katara Jones, CTV News.
Well, Potomac and Surrattsville High Schools are set to host their graduation ceremonies tomorrow. All right, well, they share a metro stop and a zip code, and now the towns of Capitol Heights, Fairmont Heights, and the city of Seat Pleasant share the 20743 Coalition. The coalition is named after their shared zip code and will advocate for the revitalization of their communities, which the mayors say are often overlooked. But with the Blue Line corridor, it's coming, and it's hopefully going to help their municipalities. The coalition says it wants in on the $400 million plan to bring economic growth around the Blue Line metro stops serving their areas. And detectives are currently investigating a homicide that occurred in the 2800 block of Wood Hollow Place. Police arrived to the scene minutes after midnight for the report of a shooting. Upon arrival, they located an adult male on the gun suffering from a gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Investigators are working to determine the circumstances of the incident. Anyone with information is asked to call 1-866-411-TIPS.
And the police have charged 40-year-old James Calero in connection with the murder of his mother, 72-year-old Susan Calero of Bowie. Yesterday, Bowie police were called to the 12,000 block of Blackwell Lane in response to a domestic dispute involving a weapon. Upon arrival, officers discovered a female victim outside who had sustained serious injuries from an assault. Once inside, they located Susan Calero, who was declared deceased on the scene. Her son James is being charged with first-degree murder, assault, and other related charges. And we have updates on the barricade incident in Seat Pleasant on Friday that ended with one man in custody. That man is 37-year-old Ray Eugene Williams of Seat Pleasant. He's charged with fatally shooting 51-year-old Timothy Furr of Baltimore. Seat Pleasant police say an officer on patrol discovered Furr shot and killed inside a car in the 6400 block of Gregg Street around 9:30 a.m. According to police, Williams then entered his apartment building and barricaded himself for more than 4 hours. He surrendered just before 2 p.m., and Prince George's County Homicide Division is now handling the investigation.
Switching to Montgomery County, a man is sentenced to 5 years in prison after posting a viral video pointing a gun at a police officer. Here is the video taken by 20-year-old William Alvarenga last November. He's sitting inside of his mother's Toyota, pointing a Glock handgun at the officer. He then posted the video on Instagram with the caption, "Should I smoke him?" Police tracked him down after watching the video. He had previously pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit first-degree assault, illegal possession of a gun, and drug charges.
Well, it's a unique class designed to break down barriers and build trust, all while giving residents a behind-the-scenes look at local law enforcement.
This police-led program is now being offered entirely in Spanish to better serve the county's large Hispanic community. Our Michaela Newton has the story.
Este es un espacio que se ha creado justamente para estrechar los lazos entre el Departamento de Policía y la comunidad y sobre todo para también proveer algunas clases a la comunidad y que ellos puedan aprender qué es lo que exactamente hacen los policías.
Andrea Naranjo says the program was created to strengthen ties between the police department and the community. From learning about gang activity and fraud prevention, citizens enroll in a 14-week program called Academia Hispana para la Comunidad. In English, that means Hispanic Academy for the Community. The program started back in 2016. Since then, the program has graduated many students like Mariela, who is now the program's liaison.
I wanted to know what it was about so that I could also recommend it to the community. And it was life-changing because I did not expect to learn all the different things that I did.
According to Officer Cortez, one of the coordinators of the program, he says in Montgomery County, the Hispanic community represents more than 20% of the residents that live there.
We understand that many of them come from countries where they fear the police, and it is important for us to address those fears and let them know that we're here to help them, that we're here to provide them with resources, because at the end of the day, we understand that we need their help to solve crime and deter crime in order to serve them better.
Officer Cortez says the program has 3 sessions a year. The current session has about 40 students, and the next session starts on September 3rd. Reporting in Montgomery County, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for CTV News.
Still to come on CTV News.
Bryce and Darian are back with another Fit and Focused.
Hey guys, it's getting hot outside, and I know you want to look good in those shorts when you go to the pool and when you go to the beach, so make sure you stick with Fit and Focus coming up on CTV News.
You may have heard that the American Legion helps honor our fallen heroes.
Or that the American Legion helped write the GI Bill, enabling veterans to get a college education.
And yeah, you've heard us tell a good story or two.
But did you know that the American Legion does so much more for our veterans?
From advocacy on Capitol Hill to serving others in our communities, the American Legion continues its tradition of strengthening America through service.
Learn more about supporting veterans in your community by visiting legion.org.
Well, in the last moments on the track in the current Pimlico racecourse.
He's back into second. He might even win it. There's the wire. Oh my goodness! Journalism has won the Preakness Stakes.
That's right. The horse Journalism was the first to cross the finish line for the Preakness Stakes crown. He was the favorite to win the race, just as he was at the Kentucky Derby, where he finished second. This was the last time race watchers and local politicians would gather at Pimlico before its major renovation, due to finish in 2027. Until then, Preakness will be held at Laurel Park here in Prince George's County. Last year, the Maryland General Assembly authorized $400 million in bonds to redevelop Pimlico, establish a new training facility, and invest in the surrounding Park Heights community.
Well, summer is right around the corner, but you still have time to achieve your fitness goals.
And if you need a little help, Bryce and Darian are back with another episode of Fit and Focused.
Fit and Focus family, we're back at Profusion Gym in Upper Marlboro with Darian from ViFit Studios, and she has another leg day workout for us. So Darian, take us away.
All right, so I'm ready for summer. I know we want to wear shorts, we want to have those thighs out, so we are working quads today, yes? Front of the leg to get that nice scoped and toned shape. So we're gonna do some barbell squats right here on this barbell here. So what we're gonna do is come behind it. Good. So from here, we're going to make sure our hands are the same width apart from the middle. So I'm gonna step under, make sure it's on my back and not my neck. From here, I'm going to push up, step together, step out, and step out. We're gonna squat down like we're about to sit on a chair or a toilet or something like that. So we're gonna go back and come on up. How you feeling over there, Bryce?
I'm feeling great.
Feeling good? Yeah? Got a little weight on you?
Yeah, leg day is the best day.
Leg day is the best day. I love that, yes. So we're gonna squat down and up, going straight down, straight up. Good. With this, we wanna make sure that our knees are not coming over our toes too much. They're gonna move forward just a little bit, but do not let that be your reason to go down and up. It's relying on your knees. You wanna rely on your quads. Good, we're gonna do one more, Bryce. And up, good job. We're gonna squat it back, re-rock. All right, guys, we are here with exercise number 2. We are going to be doing leg press here at the leg press machine. So Bryce is already set up. And we're going to place our feet right in the middle just so that we can hit the quads. You can place your feet multiple different ways, but for your quads exactly, we're gonna place them in the middle, narrow, and a little bit lower than natural. So he has a good placement right there. We're gonna push off with our legs. Go ahead and push off and unlock the machine. Great job. What we don't wanna do here is overextend and lock our knees here. So we're gonna come down, good, slowly. You wanna pause right there at the bottom and then push up with force. Very good. Gonna do that again for me. Come down slowly, 3, 2, 1, hold it for 1, and push up. Very good.
So Darren, can you tell me how this movement is different than what I was doing at the squat machine?
Absolutely. So this one is more of a beginner exercise. If you're a little intimidated by the barbell machine because of the weight on your back, this is a good place to start so that you can get comfortable with using a heavier weight than you would if you were doing just regular dumbbells. So I really like this for beginners. Also, this helps if you are trying to use one leg versus the other. It helps with unilateral, like Bryce is kind of doing right here now. Very good. And push up. Yeah, so this kind of gives you a lot more versatility than starting off with just the barbell. So we're here at the leg extension machine. So what we're gonna do is Bryce already has his legs underneath the cushion right here. So we're going to extend our legs forward, and we're going to make sure they're nice and tight as we extend forward. Very good. And slowly come down. Good job. And push up, hold it, and slowly come down.
So how is this leg extension machine kind of helping me just develop my quads?
So this is an isolation machine. This is strictly for your quads. So this is really good if you really want to hone in on your quads. Definitely add this to your routine and try to get not as many reps as you can, but you want to make sure that you kind of pack on that weight so you can get a really, really good workout with this exercise here. I love this. It'll help you build your quads, make them stronger. You'll feel stronger. And it's just good overall for just building them so you can look nice in those shorts for the summer, at the beach, at the pool. So yeah. Well,
Darian, thank you so much. I think I'm almost summer ready.
Okay.
And if you guys want to get summer ready too, make sure you check out Darian at ViFit Studios on Instagram and TikTok. If you miss any of our episodes, go to PGCTV online and make sure that you check out Profusion Gym here in Upper Marlboro. Darian, again, thank you so much. Send it back to the studio. Let's get fit and focused 2025.
All right, if you missed any of our Fit and Focus segments, you can catch up by visiting our YouTube page at PGCTV online. And Simon Buggs is back with our Monday sports page.
That's right. What you got for us today, Simon?
Hey guys, and coming up in sports, the Baltimore Orioles make a big change to their coaching staff. Find out what the Birds did after the break.
I am an athlete. I am an educator.
I'm an EMT, a neurologist, a veteran, a business owner. I'm a mom. We are survivors. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women and doesn't discriminate.
It can affect any woman at any age or stage.
Yet many women don't know it's our greatest health threat.
Encourage 3 women you love to learn more about their risk factors and how they can take charge of their health today.
All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed your weekend. It's time for your Monday sports page. Some news out of the Orioles organization as manager Brandon Hyde was fired over the weekend. This comes after a very disappointing start to this season from the Orange and Black. The Birds are just 15-30 so far this season and are 11.5 games back from the first-place New York Yankees in the AL East. During Hyde's time in Charm City, he led the Orioles to 2 straight postseason appearances in 2023 and 2024. And infielder Ramon Urias and left fielder Ramon Laureano gave their thoughts on the dismissal of Hyde.
Pretty tough. I mean, it's the only manager that I have played in the big league so far, and obviously I'm so grateful for the opportunity that he gave me, and obviously we're gonna miss him as a person.
That's unfortunate because, you know, Brandon is such a great guy, and that's well, at the end, we as players, we gotta play better.
Third base coach Tony Mansolino has taken over as interim manager. The team will return to action next against the Milwaukee Brewers tonight at 7:40. Meanwhile, the Washington Capitals season came to an end last week, losing their second-round playoff matchup against the Carolina Hurricanes in 5 games. There's a chance the Caps roster in 2026 will look very different from this past season. And Caps legend Alexander Ovechkin is grateful for the time he's had with his teammates.
It's been a great year, you know, the atmosphere, what we've been through, you know, it was fun, and to be honest with you, like, I don't know what's going to happen next year, who's going to be in the team, who's not, but that chemistry and that friendship what we have, it stays for life.
Looking forward to seeing what Ovi and the rest of the team do in 2026. Moving on to high school sports news, the state playoffs continued over the weekend. And the Eleanor Roosevelt softball's team quest to get back to the state championship will continue as they survive the close game with Perry Hall, beating them 12-11. The CMIT North baseball team also took the diamond over the weekend, but their season came to a close after being routed by St. Michael's 18-1. And wrapping up sports, the Washington Mystics moved to 2-0 this season after taking down the Connecticut Sun yesterday, 90-85. Washington will travel to the Bay Area to take on the Golden State Valkyries next on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. And that is your Monday sports page. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Thanks, Simon. And before we wrap, let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be mostly clear out. Tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 72. Rain is expected later in the night. Wednesday, we have a 90% chance of rain. It'll be 62 degrees. Thursday, more showers are likely throughout the day. We'll have a high of 65 and a low of 51.
And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.